Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Please.
Thank you. Thanks. Wow.
Yeah. Here you go.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. There you go.
Thank you. Well, cheers.
Cheers. So how did your Environmental Action Committee meeting go?
30 people showed up. I showed that clip of last year's rally in front of the White House where I demanded nation cuts its CO2 emissions 80% to prevent climate change. I said every member of the committee pledged to personally make the cuts.
I saw the clip. I heard you and saw all those signs. I personally pledged to cut my emissions 80%. This is our World War II. It's 2021. Wait till it's too late.
Why didn't you join us? Protests are fun.
Oh, they are, but I have yet to attend one that was serious and had thought out their positions and the implications of their positions.
Well, that's a generalization. Everything we said was true.
People shout about how right they are and how wrong their opponents are, as if shouting changes anything. What was all that shouting about damn crackers?
Well, I got carried away. But you support us, so why didn't you come?
The U.S. cut its emissions far more than any other country, and it's mainly because the fracking revolution replaced coal with natural gas.
The U.S. cut its emissions.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. Are you listening to Fox News?
Oh, no. The UN reports. I forgot that among environmentalists, reporting good news is forbidden. So what is your club going to do?
Cutting emissions is just a matter of desire and technology.
Hardly. An 80% cut means you'd have to use less energy than a village with no electricity that grows their own food.
I wish you'd told me that before. I wouldn't have said that with $1 a day of technology we could do it.
Only outrageous claims get noticed. If what you said had made any sense, they wouldn't have shown it on TV. So what did you tell your committee about this wager?
Yes. That Peter, the president of Moto Oil and Gas, bet our college's president that our committee would have cut our emissions 80% for a single semester and do it in a sustainable manner. There will be major magazine article and TV coverage about how we either won or lost the bet.
Losing wouldn't be a big deal.
There's another part only the two of us are in on. If we win, Peter will donate $500 million to establish a center for practical environmental study. That's secret, so the money won't influence people. You're named as the sole judge of the wager, unless the presidents decide among themselves who won. Plus, I become a tenured assistant professor.
What?
Professors make way more than adjuncts.
Well, that's 80%. 80% is impossible. I will only agree to judge if we can call 30% a victory.
Well,
I'll convince the two of them. Even that is incredibly difficult. So what happened at the meeting?
Well, when I explained they'd have to cut their own emissions for an entire semester, they were shocked to be asked to do anything. I said, let's start with something easy, like turning off our cell phones.
What happened?
If looks could kill, I'd be 12 feet under. Then Maria, our vice president, spoke up and said, let's give it a try during the meeting as a symbol of our determination. They agreed.
What is she like?
Dynamic, but touchy. Says she's a great artist.
So how many will join in?
None. They started talking about getting the legislation passed, but the wager starts next week.
It figures. People want their World War II to have no sacrifices and no inconvenience. We should all wear t-shirts that say, we have met the enemy and they are us.
Don't be sarcastic.
I have a suggestion. Why don't you read to your literature classes what Henry David Thoreau said in Walden about the joys of a simple life?
If anyone does join this wager, they're going to have a simpler life.
I'll be your first volunteer. It'll be interesting and maybe fun. And since I have to judge this thing, I'd better be close. To the action, yeah.
Well, thank you. By the way, the president told me that both him and that fracker were convinced you were completely honest. How did you do it?
I settled a bitter dispute between them. They were happy even though they both found me to be irritating.
I've never found you irritating.
Oh, you will. I usually make arguments on both sides of a dispute. People hate that and think their side is completely right. Mathematicians do that all the time. So when is your next meeting?
Thursday, 2 p.m. I'll try your suggestion. After the meeting, I'll bring the volunteers here to talk.
It's funny that we should be so intertwined like this. I wish we hadn't lost track of each other.
Well, you were so consumed with your work that I didn't think you cared.
Really? I showed lots of interest.
You are more interested in studying mathematical knots than in tying me up. Am I still the only person to call you by your real name, Garibaldi? It's a wonderful name.
It's out of place in these times. Gary is easier for my students to remember. Also, your name is wonderful too. Onyay? Onyay.
Well, see you Thursday, Garibaldi.
Yeah, I'll see you Thursday, Onyay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. I keep dreaming of babies. On our third date, I told Gary how much I wanted children. I wonder if that's why he lost interest. Still, I have one volunteer. That's a start. This is Gary, professor of mathematics. He's going to judge this wager. Gary, this is Nora, a freshman who plans to study biology, and Eric, who wants to be an engineer. Oh, this is Maria, an artist who's the vice president of the Environmental Action Committee. She's a junior.
Glad to meet you. Why did you join this adventure?
I love animals and want to save them all. I'm sure I can stand anything for 3 months to show the world what we can do.
I want to make electricity more efficiently. Maybe I can help? I have 5 brothers and sisters, so I'm used to scrimping.
I'm going to show my artwork in the magazine and on TV. You have to get noticed in the art world.
Have you come up with any plans yet?
Not yet. It's our first meeting.
Well, at the rally, we promised to cut 80%.
For the bets, I got it changed to 30%, but that's for the whole committee, not just us 5.
We should go for the max. Then when we get more people, we're bound to win.
Let's do what we promised and try to save 80%.
Go big or go home? We can try.
That makes planning simpler. An 80% reduction would mean that the 5 of us have to use the same amount of energy that one of us uses now.
Can't we use technology?
Sure. Onyay said we could use $1 a day. There are 5 of us, 3 months. That means we have less than 500 to spend.
You can figure that in your head?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't with a calculator. But don't think you're smarter than I am. I bet you know nothing about the effects of colors.
Nothing.
The arts are so neglected.
Do you know any technology that will cost 500 that will help?
We could put up solar panels?
$500 would buy 2 little ones.
Not promising. What else could we do?
We could buy carbon offsets. I mean, that's what Hollywood does. That actress, Greta Gratification, flew here in her private jet, talked about climate change, and everyone applauded her. She lives in a 50,000 square foot house, and nobody calls her a hypocrite. My family had 7 in our 700 square foot apartment.
Who cares? What's a carbon offset, and can we buy them to win?
People put money into a fund that cuts carbon emissions, often by paying for renewable energy or planting trees. There are thousands of them.
The wager says we personally have to make the cuts, so I think carbon offsets are out.
Damn.
Let's talk about what we can do personally.
The college has double and single dorm rooms. We could all stay in one. I mean, that would be a good start. It shouldn't be hard for 3 months.
Are you kidding me? I've never shared a room in my life.
I was homeschooled. I'm not used to being around so many people at the same time.
I shared with 3 brothers. I could do it again.
We know about your poverty.
I'll try. It'll be like camping.
What's the longest any of you have camped for?
A week in Alaska. A moose walked by our lakeside campsite every morning. You could see the water dripping from him. It's so exciting to see animals.
2 weeks for me. It was fun, except for the mosquitoes.
Never camped in my life and don't want to. I never do anything I'm not in complete agreement with.
Are we in agreement to share one room?
Definitely.
I don't want to share a room with any of you.
You might find it more fun than you expect it to be.
We might never get the chance to do this again.
I'll do anything the group agrees to do.
So we agreed to share one room. If there are any objections, speak up now.
What about showers? I didn't share the shower with my brothers.
That is a very personal discussion. We might be violating campus safe speech policy. All possibly controversial conversation must take place in a designated free speech zone. Are we going to declare our talk today and our room a free speech zone?
They said that at orientation, but I didn't believe it would be real. Isn't hearing the other side of an argument why we come to college?
Why are people so afraid of talking to each other? I don't understand it.
Ever heard of the cancel culture?
That's baloney.
Not here. Here, the freedom of speech is only for certain people and views. A professor was fired for saying that the college shouldn't police Halloween costumes. And screaming students shut down, 4 lecturers?
One word can end a distinguished career,
On a tolerant campus like ours.
especially on what's called a tolerant campus.
Why can't people be kind to each other?
So let's declare a free speech zone, but still try to be sensitive to each other. Everyone agree?
Yes.
I sure do.
I'm in.
Okay. Now we can get back to discussing shower arrangements.
I'd never share a shower with anyone.
Sharing a shower with the right person is wonderful, like good kisses.
I bet you're a great kisser.
That's insensitive. I wouldn't answer a question like that.
I'm okay with it. I am a good kisser. I used to practice with a girlfriend before I kissed a lot of boys.
Kissing your girlfriend is gross.
Actually, it was quite pleasant.
Showers use a lot of water. No one's going to suggest we take showers every 5th day, are they?
What a wonderful suggestion. My friends will love my stink. Then we'll have fewer interactions, and that will lead to even less CO2 emissions. One win after another.
I'm sure you never stink.
Oh, you'll see.
Are you being serious?
Of course not.
It would save a lot of energy, especially if we just got wet, turned the water off, lathered up, and then rinsed off.
Camping stores have portable showers you can put in the sun to warm. We could use those on the days we don't take our regular showers.
Good idea, Eric. I've seen them, but never used one. I'm sure there's lots of other camping gear that would save energy.
You're proposing that I carry a warmed-up portable shower to the bathroom and use it. People will think I'm weird.
I prefer the word eccentric.
It's weird, definitely weird.
I've been called weird all my life. Eventually you get used to it. Well, not really.
It's practical. If we're gonna succeed, we'll have to be a lot more than eccentric.
Maria isn't comfortable, so let's skip the portable showers and go with showering every 5th day. It'll show we're more determined. I can do it for 3 months. You don't see polar bears taking showers, do you? Don't laugh! Animals are smart. My mom studies humpback whale communications. Did you know they sing and their songs spread from one group to another? I wonder if they have star singers like we do.
Well, since we're skipping the portable showers, at least we can use ultra-low flow shower heads?
We'd need permission. I'll bring it up to the administration.
Why would they object? The college website says we're all for efficiency and adaptation.
Well, no one wants students to complain that the school scrimps on their showers. Could be bad publicity.
Why the hell can't people just start making the changes that need to be made?
Yeah.
I mean, the world is going to die, and people won't change their shower heads?
That's the trend. People are building bigger houses, colleges offer richer food, larger accommodations, all creating more emissions, the opposite of what we're trying to do.
I thought you were the judge and weren't going to give any opinions.
I'm sorry, sometimes I can't help myself.
Try harder.
So we'll shower every 5th day. Agreed? And what about you, Maria?
I'm out. I told you, I only follow rules I agree with, and this is a rule I don't agree with.
You've objected to everything. Are you sure you want to take part?
Positive. It's in my best interest to do this. I need the publicity for my art.
Mercenary, but honest. I can respect that.
Why are you picking on me?
Oh, Eric, please try to be more sensitive.
I am being sensitive. I just want to get things done.
What about food? We can't eat every 5th day.
Some monks beg for food. We could try begging our food from whatever people put on their trays and won't eat.
Begging's disgusting. I'll never, and I repeat, never do that.
There might be leftovers in the cafeteria. We can eat them. No food went to waste at my house.
We'll be like those animals that scavenge for food. It's better than not eating at all.
They always run out of the good food. They never have enough lobster or sushi or steak. We'll end up eating the leftover crap.
I wouldn't call it crap. I think... Sorry, I'm not supposed to opine. Won't happen again.
I like when you talk, Gary. You always have original ideas.
There's no guarantee there will be any leftovers, and we wouldn't know until after the cafeteria closes. I think we'll have to make our own food.
That makes sense. I know how to cook. I can teach people.
It's September, so it's too late to start growing vegetables.
I have a cookbook with recipes using foraged foods. There are some we can harvest.
Forage in these clothes? Are you kidding me?
You would if you were really hungry.
I'd rather die.
Oh, that's Thoreau's point entirely. Some people starve not because there isn't food, but because there isn't enough of what they want to eat.
And now you're an expert on literature too?
Maria, what does your father do?
He's an orthopedic surgeon.
Not even just a doctor. Figures. I'm sure you've never been hungry. It's horrible.
Have you ever seen a starving animal? It makes you cry.
Well, let me think. Potatoes are energy efficient and healthy. What about some days eating only potatoes and milk?
To save those endangered animals, I'll do anything. They grow potatoes nearby in the Black Dirt region. It'd save energy if we eat them instead of ones from Idaho.
Good idea. I'll try to calculate what we'll save.
We could eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or rice and beans. They're both more energy efficient than what they serve in the cafeteria.
Great ideas. Let's take these suggestions as a start and change them if need be. Everyone agree?
Absolutely. Let's get on with it.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm out. I'll eat in the cafeteria whenever I want.
I'm in.
What about clothes? It takes a lot of energy to make clothes and keep them clean.
I'm not going nudist.
That would be very interesting.
It wouldn't bother me, but that's not what I meant.
I wear at least 2 outfits a day. That's not going to change.
I can wear the same clothes day after day.
I'm sure you can and do.
And that was being dismissive.
Not being dismissive, just pointing out the obvious.
That was impolite, Maria. We all need to respect each other.
People pay big money for distressed jeans these days. We could wear cast-offs. We won't look so weird in old clothing.
People pay money to wear specific fashions that imitate being poor. No one wants anyone to think they're wearing the clothing of poor people.
Good point.
We could wash our clothes in the sink in cold water, then hang them up to dry. That would use less energy. It's not such a burden.
Have you tried it? It is hard to get the clothes clean.
I did when I was camping. It's hard, but I'm willing to do it.
Well, the clothes will be wrinkled, then we'd have to iron them.
We'd save more energy if we didn't iron anything.
Barbaric! I dry clean most of my clothes. I am out.
Come on, people! Of course, we can do it.
I could, for 3 months.
It's a great idea. We'll look natural, not artificial.
It's not my favorite choice, but I'm in.
What about makeup and scent? It's got to save energy not to use them.
I can give them up.
You don't wear any makeup, do you? I mean, you have such nice hair.
Well, you shouldn't ask a woman about these things. I wear makeup and I dye my hair. I can stop. What will my class think when my natural color starts to show? But we've got to win the bet. Any objections?
Again, it's a yes from me.
A hell yes from me.
A hell no from me.
I'd like to volunteer to walk to the market with a shopping cart instead of driving.
I'll help you with that.
Thanks.
Gary told me that many people don't have electricity. Should we try to go for days without it?
We're at college to study. How will we study without lights in our computers?
I'm willing to try anything. I'll figure out a way to turn off the electricity in the room.
Crazy, stupid, ridiculous idea. No. No, 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 no. I repeat, never.
Also, many people get by on less than 3 quarts of water a day for all their needs.
Stop it, please. You're killing me.
Let's leave these suggestions for another day. That's enough discussion for now. Everyone ready?
So many people are crazy about animals. There'll be lots of people joining us. We're going to change the world. If humans use less, think how much safer the foxes and wolves are going to be.
But, Nora, how much safer would we be with more wolves around?
What are you saying? Sorry, I really have to go. Bye.
Thank you.
I didn't mean to insult her. I was just joking.
Well, let's not tell jokes at other people's expense.
Sounds like we'll be a part of that Chinese curse. May you live in interesting times. But I'm as enthusiastic about this as I've been about anything in a long time.
Any alternative or additional suggestions?
No. I'll do a good deal of cursing, but I'm all in. At least for all those parts I agreed to.
You disagreed on every point. Wait, tell me again what you agreed to?
People are always picking on me.
We support you, Maria.
Oh, I just thought of something else. I'll try to drive less. We could all take fewer trips.
I'm not giving up skiing.
The whole world knows you must ski.
Can you try to stop criticizing Maria? So Gary, if we do all these things, do we win?
Hard to tell. Calculating savings is going to be difficult.
Not very encouraging, are you, Gary?
The wager says that the whole committee has to take part. That's over 30 people, and we're only 5.
People will see us and want to join in, I'm sure of it.
If the whole committee takes part, we might win. Oh, also, it's not part of the bet, but the presidents wonder if our changes would be sustainable. It's an interesting question. I'll ask about that at the end of our experiment.
I'll use my art to draw them in.
They'll call you Maria, the eccentric artist.
Take it back.
Someday you'll take that as a compliment.
Well, we start in 2 days. Exciting.
I gotta go. Bye.
Bye. For once, I can stop myself from commenting. Bye.
2 more days of real life, then prison. What I put up with for my art.
2 weeks, and I'm bored with the food already. And even in my house, we had more interesting food.
Peanut butter and jelly for dinner 3 nights in a row. I'm hungry, but I can't eat another bite. Tomorrow, we'll be eating potatoes and milk for 3 days.
Yeah, maybe we can add a bit of steamed kale, or the wild mushrooms Nora found.
Ooh, I'm so excited. Anyone want to post this to Instagram?
That would be great. Maybe we'll get some converts to our way of life.
People in prison live better than we do.
True, but we have better company.
Prisoners might be more interesting than some of you.
The 5 of us are living better than most kings and queens of history. They always had the threat of famine and drank tainted water. We don't. They had almost no medical or dental care. Half of the children died by age 5.
You're right, Gary. Sometimes you seeing the other side of the argument is annoying.
It stinks in here. Eric, when's the last time you showered?
Eric's starting to smell like the moose I saw. It's a nice, earthy smell.
5 days, just like we agreed. If needs be, I'll go 8 days.
Don't you dare.
Funny, people volunteer to make peanut butter sandwiches at the homeless shelters. They feel virtuous, and the homeless people are thankful. Why don't I feel thankful for our sandwiches?
I'm borrowing to pay my fees. I wanted to get away from poverty. Now it seems like I'm back in it, but it's worth it. Finally doing something important.
I hate to complain, but I'm so itchy from not showering. And now I'm jealous of what's being served in the cafeteria tonight. Tonight's surf and turf night.
I'm off to get us dessert. What are you craving, Mr. Judge?
Nothing is plenty for me.
Such an elegant answer. I would love some ice cream, but nothing is plenty for me too.
Eric, Nora, do you remember how heavenly the chocolate cake is?
I can almost taste the rich, dark chocolate. But nothing's plenty for me.
Damn it. Nothing's plenty for me.
Fine, I won't bring anything back. Idiots.
She's bringing us down. She isn't one of us.
We all react differently. There isn't just one way for everyone. Besides, she's doing exactly what she promised to do.
Which is almost nothing. She makes it less likely we'll win.
Well, I feel sorry for her and wouldn't want to be in her place. Always saying no and complaining.
I wish I had her talent. It must be so amazing to be an artist.
We need to kick her out.
I won't go down that road.
I guess I can stomach her complaints until the end of the semester. They distract me from the blandness of our food.
We must succeed. If not, all the animals will die and we'd be doomed.
Oh, try to be less depressing. We are not doomed. In some ways, it's good that the planet's warming. 10,000 years ago, this spot was under 2 miles of ice. Who knows when the next ice age will start? Climate is always changing. Now, partially due to man's influence, but we don't know what will happen in the future.
We do know the future. We're doomed. All the climate models say the temperature's going to rise 2 degrees Celsius over the next 10 years. Then, it will then get higher at a faster rate. It's over.
They don't all say that.
Are you some kind of freaking climate change denier? Maybe we should kick you out too. It's against everything we're working for.
Calm down. Even though Gary sounds like a freaking denier.
What? Calling people names and not listening isn't helpful. I've discovered if you actually listen to the people you disagree with, you often learn something.
I don't listen to deniers.
How will it hurt us to at least listen?
Calling me a denier is silly, but at least I'm not a doomer. There is always hope. As Thoreau said, if one advances confidently in the direction of one's dreams, one will meet with success unexpected in common hours. That applies to all of life, including the climate problem.
We're doomed. All the models say there's no hope.
Accurate, long-term models almost never happen. You could become a billionaire if you made an accurate model for oil prices for just 1 year, which is a far easier task than modeling the climate for hundreds of years.
That's bull. The models are accurate. Deny it.
You might create 5 models that show what happened in the past. Run them for another 20 years and each ends up differently. So how do you know which one is right? By making small changes to the assumptions used, you can get the model to do almost anything you want.
The amount of CO2 in the atmosphere has increased by about 30% over the past century. That's significant.
I've never done modeling, but I believe the predictions being made by climate scientists.
Models do not predict. They project, which is a very different thing. They use the word project to acknowledge the uncertainty involved. The carbon dioxide increase is significant, but the projections made over decades have not been very accurate. They have all consistently said the climate would be warmer than it turned out to be.
So you're saying they're worthless?
No, they are useful to tell us we need to make intelligent changes, but they do not say we are doomed. If people change how they act, the models will get very different results.
I've heard people say over and over that there's no hope.
People love to scare others to death, talking about disasters, death to every living creature. It gets people to watch you on TV, read your book, it almost never happens.
You're trying to change the subject. There's no hope.
Back in 1800, Malthus wrote a book saying people would starve because population increases faster than food production. He forgot that human knowledge continually improves. There are 8 times more people today, each person living twice as long, all much healthier.
I've read we have less than a year to fix the problem.
Yet the same thing was said in 1990, 2000, 2010, and it wasn't true. Maybe your parents remember the predictions, right? That mankind would die out because of AIDS. It didn't. At first, most people died within a year of being diagnosed, and now they live almost as long as anyone else. The doomers always ignore progress.
You're a minority of one.
If we're doomed, why bother trying? If people saw a clear path forward, they would do more than they'll do by being told that there's no hope. This doomer BS is a horrible psychological burden.
I know so many children who think they have no future. Telling children over and over that they're doomed is child abuse. You know, what's wrong with these people? Sometimes I think we should jail them. Well, no, that's going too far.
I'd love to hear any good news.
Oh, 2 small examples. Israeli scientists made great strides in cheaper water desalinization, and there are now machines that can suck CO2 out of the air. There are more examples every single day. Unfortunately, good news is not news to the news business.
That only makes me feel a little better. Do you think we can solve this?
Sure, if mankind puts their mind to fix it. Yet, at the same time, humans, including myself, can be quite stupid. The sea rises about 1 inch in 10 years. We should be able to convince people to move inland a bit, but somehow we cannot.
So now you're agreeing with me.
I see both sides. Mankind could solve the problem. We aren't doomed, but we're often very stupid.
Gary's got a point. My dad studies forest management, and he says people are always blaming forest fires on climate change and never on bad forest management. Doesn't it make sense that it's both, and we need to manage our forests better?
Taking both sides of an argument isn't fair. But
Well, let's not fight among ourselves. The important thing isn't that we always agree, but that we're trying to solve the problem.
Gary, you sure do like to argue.
I do.
Can you show me one of the models on your computer?
Sure, yeah.
In exchange, I'll tell you some of the secrets of making art.
I cannot wait. I cannot even draw a straight line.
In art, to make a line look straight, it sometimes can't totally be straight. Did you know when they built the Parthenon, each column was a slightly different height to give the impression of straightness when viewed from a distance?
Interesting.
It's a bargain. I'll try to teach you art, and I'll laugh at you in my mind, and you can try to teach me math and laugh at my poor performance.
I don't want to laugh at you.
Well, let's face it, artists get laughed at and worse. If they can't deal with it, they'll never succeed.
what part of mathematics do you specialize in?
Studying mathematical knots.
I still say you're a denier.
Let's leave Gary alone. He's an honest man. Besides, he's judging, and I don't want to piss him off. Without him, this wager would have been lost already. Has anyone made any progress in convincing people to join us?
Bonnie, you have to see the news.
Whoa, wait. You first.
I've been talking to lots of people about saving animals.
Any success?
They say they want to help, but they don't want to do anything.
And my engineering friends want to work on practical solutions, not living like this.
Yeah.
I'll bring them in with my new poster. It'll have an elephant with a big cat on its shoulder and say, "Save them all, from large to small. Join the Environmental Action Committee."
It would be even better if you added a mouse on the cat's shoulder and added, "Even a mouse is precious to me."
Don't interfere with my work.
I made my ideas into a poem.
Yeah.
Save them all, from large to small. Save them all today. Please join us if you will. We're sure to find a way. I love them all, even the mouse, who I so seldom see. They're all welcome in my house. They're all precious to me.
Yeah, even the mouse is precious to me. Who would think of that?
Welcome a mouse into your house? That is funny.
I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm serious.
It's a wonderful poem. Let's say the beginning together.
Oh, I'm skipping this one.
It's too silly.
Save them all, from large to small. Save them all today. Please join us if you will. We're sure to find a way.
Creating a poster is great, but unless we start treating each other better, any new people will leave right after they meet us.
What happened with my suggestion that we put in ultra-low shower heads?
Vetoed by the school senate. Said it was not in keeping with the rest of the campus.
Tonight, I'm just gonna change the ones in the showers we use. Oh, I'm also working with my physics professor to see if we can get the exercise equipment to generate usable energy.
That sounds fascinating.
Solar and wind power produce a lot of power sometimes, but none at others. So, you need to build fossil fuel power plants as backups, which means you need to pay for both. I mean, energy storage now is inefficient and expensive. It needs a ton of work.
The price of electricity in the parts of Europe using the most green energy is now 6 times higher than it was before they switched, and sometimes they're rolling blackouts. Many families cannot afford to heat their houses. This is not a cheap or easy change.
Yeah, but it's still
I
a
can
change
hear
that...
another argument coming up. I think we all need some recreation. Why don't we play Twister? It's a fun game.
And ruin my silk pajamas?
You said you'd wear the same clothes day to day like we do.
You must be hallucinating. I'd never say that. Besides, my dad just sent me a wonderful dress.
Not what we're aiming for.
I'll join, if the others will. We made some interesting knots last time we played. That was ages ago.
Yeah, you thought your knot theory will help you. Well, it didn't. You usually fell down first. Come on.
Anyone else want to play?
I got work to do.
Not for me.
Well, hopefully we'll get to play another day.
I'll get ready for that.
Could you cut that out? It's bothering me. You're always burping. I can't stand it.
And you're always complaining.
I just state facts.
Whatever.
Oh, Eric, I forgot to remind you, you're supposed to speak at our meeting tomorrow.
Shut up, everyone. I'm trying to sleep. her about how much she loves animals getting on your nerves. Saying the mouse is precious and forcing me to add a mouse to my drawing.
It's a bit much at times.
And her weird obsession with foraged food.
That's not weird. We went together and found sage and wild ginger and those nuts and mushrooms. She knows way more about nature than I do. Hey, why didn't you eat me?
If she picked the wrong mushrooms, we'd be dead. I wonder if she really loves all animals or is only saying that. I'd love to know.
It's an interesting question.
Look. I know I've been bitchy towards you sometimes, but I don't mean to be offensive. Maybe we can start over?
I've said a few cutting things myself.
Maybe we can be better friends.
I'm good with that, but I'll wait to see if you actually start treating me better.
Can I sketch you?
Sure.
Take off your shirt. Use the dumbbells. It'll make a better picture. $2-pounders, huh? Another pose?
You look great, Eric.
Oh. Another day together.
Hey, y'all.
How's everything going for people?
Things aren't going well for me. The college replaced the ultra-low flow shower head I put in last week. If the administration really cared, they would have left it.
Yeah, I think the president decided that he couldn't change the rules during the wager.
Doesn't he want us to win?
Keep going, Eric. I'm sketching you.
Sorry.
Well, I'm sure he does, but the terms of the wager say he can't influence events.
I'm not interested in the terms. I just wanted to change the damn shower head.
You look great when you're angry. Keep going.
In class today, I heard 2 students whisper, "Here comes Ms. Frump." Frump is an adjective I too use to describe myself. It's been 5 days since I showered. I can feel the dirt building up and my hair is a mess. I'm sure I look horrible.
No, you look great.
Didn't you once tell me sometimes you're not honest?
Not with you. You do. You look great.
Then I thank you, even if you don't mean it.
But I do.
Stop flirting. We've got to make all this seem cool and attract people.
Well, 6 people came to the action committee meeting because of Maria's poster, but the temper of the meetings is getting worse. There was a bitter dispute about whether to shut down nuclear power plants and stop building the natural gas pipelines. But when I brought joining us and doing something personally, I was ignored.
Idiots. Every nuclear power plant that closes vastly increases emissions. And if you don't build the pipelines, people might burn coal, which is worse. But people do like to fight. It's more fun than eating PB&J for dinner.
There are new designs for nuclear power plants that are far safer than the old ones, but no country has given a permit to try to build one.
Yeah.
We need to try all the new ideas. That's the main hope I have.
For once, we agree. Action.
Yes, people want their World War II without any sacrifice or inconvenience.
A lot of what the committee is doing is useful. We shouldn't belittle their efforts.
I'm disappointed, that's all. I wish I knew how to get them to respond.
I prefer to blast them into action.
Being blasted hurts. I hate when people demean me.
The environment isn't the only problem that needs to be balanced. Getting enough food, water, education, avoiding wars and volcanoes, nuclear weapons, pandemics. I mean, a single asteroid wiped out the dinosaurs.
The other day, you said I was depressing. You take the cake. Sorry, I didn't mean to mention cake. Now I wish I had some.
Stick to one topic. It gets annoying when people keep changing the subject.
Well, Gary can be annoying, but he also opens my mind to things I haven't thought about. I can deal with it in small doses.
Gary, you think and talk way too much.
I can't seem to help it.
The best art is simple and to the point.
You promised to tell me the secrets of arts.
I've been trying to figure out how Leonardo made people look alive in his paintings. He called his painting style smoke. Everything merges and the subject's personality oozes out of the paint.
How did he do it?
He painted very thin layers of paint, one on top of the other. The light would go through and illuminate them. Each layer was dead, but together they produced life.
Life out of lifelessness, just like God.
Have you tried it?
Started to. If I succeed, that will truly be art.
It will. Speaking of art, there's the art of cooking. I think potatoes are on the menu today. I'm starting to like them. I even feel a bit Irish.
Can we have a bit of Irish stout with that?
Monks used to drink quarts of weak beer every day.
Shut up, who cares?
You do know brewing produces lots of carbon
And
dioxide.
there shall be no more cakes and ale.
Well, perhaps we could have stout another night.
Always saying no and trying to push us to greater savings.
I push because we've got to win, but I try to do it gently.
It's sushi night at the cafeteria. I wouldn't miss it. Come join me, Eric.
Nothing's plenty for me.
I could bring you back a slice of cake. It'll just take a second. What about you, Onyay?
Just this once, I'll take a piece.
She always cheats. And now her cheating is infecting us too. We should kick her out.
What's one piece of cake? This isn't prison camp, despite what Maria might think.
Besides, none of us is completely honest. We all promise to do things and don't.
I'm honest.
People promise, and when they find it's hard, they don't do it. Did you know that every single pledge made by every single country to lower emissions hasn't been fully met? That's human nature.
Thank you. That's depressing. I could scream when I think of it.
Thought you said you were optimistic.
Mankind is a combination of angel and crap. People want to believe we're either one or the other. Unfortunately, we are both.
You're trying to change the topic again. I'm talking about Maria. She's cheating on a regular basis.
I won't judge her. Every person is valuable.
She could make us lose this bet.
Then again, one of her art pieces might inspire others. No one knows the future.
Yes, for all of her, I don't know what to call it, but Marianess, there's something simple and reassuring about her. I like her very much.
You like everyone. I haven't heard you make one complaint about anyone yet.
Occupational hazard of being a professor. We get reviews by all the students, and the reviews are important for our future. But I do love people. How can we bring more people in?
I talk to everyone about saving animals, but sometimes I think people are laughing at me behind my back.
Well, I'm open to any suggestions on how to get new people.
None from me.
What a relief.
Touche. There we go. I rock at this game. I don't even know how. Oh, who spoke to soon? Okay, that's fair.
You two missed a wonderful feast at the cafeteria tonight. Don't think I've ever had better.
Nothing is plenty for me. I'm not giving in.
Sometimes I would like to give in.
I never thought food could taste so good.
It's eating boring food here every day that makes the cafeteria seem so good.
Don't remind me. Dinner here wasn't great.
I'd have brought you something, but I know you two would refuse.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
I'm a bit disappointed. I'm just an observer, but I could have continued observing even if I was eating dessert.
Nora, it's your turn to make the room up, isn't it?
It is.
Does anybody ever finish a game of War?
Good question.
Like,
I don't know.
I can't think of a time I've ever finished one.
Well, maybe we'll finish it today because I'm gonna win.
I think I lost my lead. But...
today.
Contact with his only snake!
I knew she didn't love all animals.
What did you say?
I said I too love all animals.
It's a very realistic rubber snake. Who put it there?
It doesn't matter. That's so mean. I won't live with people who torment others. It's over. Why waste more time? Let's call it quits now.
I'm not going to give up. This is too important. Even if all of you leave, I'm staying. God created animals, and I'm not going to abandon them.
She's right. We've come too far.
One or more of us is being mean, and I won't continue unless I get a pledge that we'll be kinder to each other and start doing all we promised to do. I'd rather lose than pretend we're doing something. We're either all in or all out.
I'm all in. I'll do all the things I agreed to do. I won't offer to bring back any more desserts to tempt you.
I'm in.
You know I'm in.
Me too.
That's great. Now let's try to keep going.
Gary,
Mm-hmm.
remind me how many people don't have electricity?
Over 1 billion.
To make up for that meanness, let's try a day without electricity or heat.
We said that's a bit too far. Are you sure you want to try?
What is everyone afraid of? It'll be a win for us.
For once, I'm in. One day only.
Why are you agreeing all of a sudden?
Just trying to be cooperative. You know I can't be cooperative.
Well, I knew we'd give it a try, so I found a way to turn off the heat and electricity, but make sure the pipes don't freeze. I'll turn it off tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow's supposed to be very cold.
Then we'll see how the billion live. No computers either.
I don't want to sit in the dark. Can we have candles at least?
It's too dangerous to use candles, but I have some flashlights. I'll bring them for the night.
I can't believe I agreed to do this.
You'll probably look sexy in the dark.
I always look sexy.
I wish he'd notice me.
I think we designated this a no flirting zone.
You know I didn't agree to that.
I was talking with my physics professor about plans he's considering for blocking some of the sunlight coming to the Earth.
That doesn't sound very practical.
There are some spots between the Earth and the Sun called L points, where objects stay in the same place, and it might be possible to put small objects to reflect some of the sunlight away from the Earth.
I don't understand it, but I like people coming up with potential solutions. I'm not going to hear any more doomer talk, am I?
You're right. If you look, there are positive advances almost every day.
For all my talk of positivity, I get down sometimes and start to think I'll never solve another math problem. Most of them are really tough.
I always feel more positive after exercise. We could exercise together.
That's a good idea. I always forget, and you can encourage me.
Maybe we can work on something together? I have a few ideas.
I'm up for it.
Oh, it's freezing in here.
Did you know there are fish under the Antarctica's ice cap that have natural antifreeze in their blood so they can live in water that's below freezing?
Wow, What a useful adaptation.
That's what I'm trying to study. There must be tons of ways to help plants and animals adapt to changes. I'm sure of it. Nature is truly amazing. By the way, Onyay, I'm supposed to read a story for your class tomorrow.
I'm supposed to be marking papers, but they're all on my computer and we can't use them. I'll do it in the morning.
I have a test Thursday, so I'll try reading.
Maria.
Well, I'm sorry I took the flashlights, but I can't read unless it's next to my book.
That only leaves 2 for everyone else.
Sorry, I didn't have any more.
Well, why read books when we have each other? We might never get another chance to sit together in the cold.
What do you suggest?
Let's make up a story.
Oh.
One person starts and others continue and we'll go round and round.
I love stories.
I've never written one.
Well, I'll start. Look up, you can see the Milky Way shining and the moon is about to set.
I can't see the Milky Way from here. Have you been drinking out of your secret supply of stout?
Use your imagination. Nora, can you continue?
I see Mars, the god of war, rising in the east, and Venus, the goddess of love and agriculture, setting in the west.
Artistic license. I never understood it.
Even animals have imagination. Dolphins have a language and make up unique names for each other. I'm sure you have a great imagination.
I'll try. I'll go last. You go, Maria.
On Mars, the spaceship Aurora has landed to see if they can set up a colony.
There are 27 people on the Aurora.
Oh, and 3 Alaskan Huskies without their sledges.
Nice. But the ghost of Frank Angelo Vesuvius lurks on Mars.
Oh, he was the first person to create a private spaceship that took him to Mars.
Frank knew he couldn't return to the Earth. His ship wasn't designed for that.
And Frank was tired of other people and thought, why not go to Mars to relax? So much room and free time. But as soon as he got there, he realized there were important things missing.
Yeah, he missed his mother.
Oh.
Movies, museums, the sea, his yacht, air pollution, but mainly his mother.
Oh.
When the Aurora crew first stepped outside, they thought they were hallucinating because they could hear drum beats all around them.
It was the ghost of Frank Angelo Vesuvius playing. He'd blown himself up in an experiment. The crew began to dance to the drum music.
Weird, exotic, new dances.
Yeah, they decided to call themselves the Mars Jumping, Twirling, Almost Flying Dance Crew.
They looked at the smiles on each other's faces and realized that they were happier than they'd ever been on Earth.
Yeah, because they had free, constantly varying drum music.
But 3 days later, the drum music stopped suddenly. Dun, dun, dun.
The 3 Alaskan Huskies began to howl. Ow, ow, ow! As if they knew something odd was happening.
On the 53rd bark, the power went out in the ship.
The crew was left with 3 flashlights that in a pinch could be powered by a generator attached to a bicycle, but they'd forgotten to bring the bicycle.
And the lights began to flicker. Maybe they would go out.
But they knew even if they did, the story wouldn't end.
Because they looked up and there was the Earth rising, far off in the distance.
And 2 of them banged a drum, while the rest of them danced.
And those Alaskan Huskies, I wish I could tell you what those dogs were doing, but
But that would be telling, and you know I won't
No,
tell.
I really wish you would. I bet you have fascinating secrets.
But I'll tell. Okay. The dogs were digging in the ground, looking for bones, when they found Frank's buried notebook telling of his discovery of unlimited energy. Now they could go back to Earth.
But the formulas were worthless. So said the only mathematician among them.
Ouch.
Yeah, why'd we bring a mathematician, wondered the rest of the crew. All mathematicians ever do is argue and tell you you're wrong.
They realized they were quite happy and content with the 3 flashlights. So am I. This isn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Though it is freezing in here.
I could turn the power back on.
And spoil our one night of definitely making our goal? Never.
Seems like our story stopped.
Maybe we should prepare to go to bed?
Good idea. No rubber snakes, please?
No
rubber snakes ever.
Why stop now? Let's make up a poem. Come on. Uh-huh. Your turn. You know you want to. I got the low CO2 emissions blues. Can't beat the low CO2 emissions blues. Come on.
Dirty hair and frumpy clothes, boring food, that's how it goes.
8 weeks on, 4 more to go. I can stick it, that I know.
Come on.
Crowded rooms and sour smells. I don't think this will turn out well.
I'm the greatest, yes, I'm the best. You disagree, then you're the pest.
And we are fixing the planet, saving the planet, fixing all her woes. Yes, come on.
Saving the planet, fixing all her woes.
Yes, we're saving the planet,
fixing all her woes.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll drop engineering and write stories.
Maybe I'll drop art and take up mathematics.
Maybe I'll never dye my hair again.
Maybe people will start respecting animals.
What a wonderful world that would be.
Life is wonderful.
I don't say this very often, but life truly is wonderful.
That was great. Onyay will be here soon. Remember to say we wrote this song together.
Of all people to ask us to tell a lie.
It's so incredibly romantic.
Gary, will you show me one of the mathematical knots you're working on?
So knots are classified based on the number of times a string crosses itself. Okay, so these are all of the knots where the string crosses itself 6 times. Many artists like MC Escher use knots in their art. You can use 3D printing to make them.
I love Escher. This one is gorgeous. I'd love to print
That
that.
doesn't sound very useful.
It is. Life itself depends on untying knots. DNA is knotted and enzymes are needed to untie it so a cell can make proteins.
This is my birthday gift to you, simple but quite sincere. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy every day. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy every day. Everybody loves you, that's a simple truth. Everybody loves you, and I love you too.
Wishing you a happy birthday, wishing you all healthy days, wishing you the best forever, wishing you all joyous days.
Wishing you a happy birthday, wishing you all healthy days, wishing you the best forever, wishing you all joyous days. Everybody loves you, that's the simple truth. Everybody loves you, and I love you too. This is my birthday gift to you, simple but quite sincere. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy every day.
Yay! That was so wonderful. Thank you.
We've done well lately, and everyone's been so morose. I think we need some relaxation.
What do you suggest?
I haven't had wine in months, and I usually have a glass or two every day. There's got to be room in the wager for a little bit of wine. Gary, how often do you drink wine?
Often enough. I haven't had any in quite a while.
Well, I brought 2 bottles, both reds. I'm going to open this Pinot Noir. It has a screw top. Takes less energy to produce than one of those artificial corks. Do we get any points for that, Gary?
Who knows? You know, they're all underage. You can't legally give them a drink.
I'm of legal drinking age. I can show you my driver's license. I like Cabernet. Do you have any?
Here, also a screw top. I brought some cups. We are all heroic defenders of the earth and beloved friends of the grape. I say, let them drink.
Eric and Nora should not drink.
You're a spoil sport. I also have a bottle of carbonated apple juice. They can pretend to get tipsy. Sometimes that's more fun than actually drinking.
I'm not a child. I want some wine.
No apple juice for me.
I thought you said making wine creates a lot of carbon dioxide.
I did, but this is a birthday party. Even monkeys look for naturally fermenting fruit so they can have some wine.
You can legally drink wine in Italy at 16, a civilized country. Here's to the fact that we've made it 10 weeks and haven't killed each other yet.
Yeah, maybe Maria will kill me tomorrow.
With love.
Oh, why are you always picking on Maria? She's my favorite. And so are you, Nora.
Is this discrimination against men? What about me?
You too.
No, this wine is not very good. It reminds me of my grandfather's wine. He used to crush the grapes with his feet. Can you pour me another?
What's his name? Garibaldi, like yours?
He was not so fortunate. Angelo.
Garibaldi, what a strange name.
Sounds noble to me. I've got such a boring name.
That was unkind, Maria. The famous Garibaldi was a hero and a liberator, and this Garibaldi aims for heroic impartiality. He will sniff out the truth without regard to what he would like it to be.
Here, here.
If he believes we lost, he will say so. An unpopular virtue with us.
I wouldn't want Garibaldi to cheat. We'll win fair and square.
Maybe I'll tell the dean about you 2 later.
Well, that's another complaint, another drink.
Well, I hope none of you tell on us, because, I mean, this breaks all campus rules, and Onyay and I could get into a lot of trouble.
Do you really think I would rat on you two?
We declared this a safe zone. I wouldn't dream of snitching.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe I'll tell the dean about you 2 later.
I'm sure you would if it would get you what you want. Well, she who has the wine rules. I say any further complaints require taking another drink. So be careful. And Gary, you love to argue, so be careful if you don't want to get drunk.
I never argue, I inform. Besides, who made you queen?
Well, that's arguing.
Another drink for Gary. Oh, who's up for Twister now?
I'm not feeling it yet. Maybe after another sip.
I'm not sure I'd ever be drunk enough to play.
That's a complaint. Another drink for you.
I haven't complained in weeks. I'd say this is crappy wine, but that would be a complaint, so I won't.
Well, I'll forgive you. It is crappy wine. I thought crappy wine would be produced with less energy than good wine. Note it down, Gary. We're saving energy by drinking crappy wine.
I'll note it down, but I say if you're going to have a spree, have a real spree, and buy good wine. That's for next time.
Next time when we win the bet.
Time for Twister. Let me get the board out.
Maria, how do you always get new clothes?
I have a full scholarship based on need.
Your dad's rich. How did you do it?
There are ways to get around any system.
Sounds like cheating.
You're jealous, that's all. You look great when you're pretending to be angry.
Why can't I get Eric to notice me? There are so few interesting guys on campus. There have to be 2 women for every guy.
Stop arguing, you two, and play or drink up. By the way, Gary, how are we doing? I demand Interim report. Are you going to judge we won this wager?
Demand, that is a complaint. One more drink for you.
Oh, I can hear complaint in your voice. Another drink for you. Can you grab a drink before you get twisted up with me? I'm an awesome player.
You are. I'm gonna join in.
Come on, Maria. I'll play if you will.
Never.
The riddance. I'm joining. Here goes.
Come on, Maria, you'll have a good time.
I bet you'd be great.
Left foot green. Right foot blue.
This is the 5th straight Saturday night I've stayed home.
Why don't you go out and do something fun?
Left hand red.
I feel guilty.
No more wine for you.
I feel
Left foot red.
guilty if we lost the bet. Besides, who wants to hang out with a hairy, grumpy girl?
Right hand green.
The community is having a party tonight. Why don't you go and try to convince some of them to join us?
Wearing rumpled clothes, looking a mess, no makeup?
Well, you could always put on your regular clothes and wear makeup for the night. Go for it.
Hand yellow.
We've got to have some helpers.
I feel like a cheat, but they'll probably have some really good food.
Oh, that's foraging. Gary said that will count in our favor.
Sounds like fun. Why don't you go? Maybe I'll join you later.
I'm off.
The view from here is amazing.
Eric. There are far more enjoyable games that involve moving and twisting.
What are you saying?
Hey, you can't just take that. You're underage. Hello? I thought they disliked each other.
You're oblivious. Maria's been trying to make nice for weeks. Never thought I'd saw them kiss though. Maybe the god of the vine is also the god of love.
The human heart is the ultimate knot. Who knows how to untangle it? Not this guy. I hope they won't regret it in the morning.
Well, Eric's had a lot to drink, and I don't think he ever drinks. He might fall asleep before they do anything serious.
Yeah, spoil sport.
Well, we've finally gotten rid of our roommates.
Yup.
How about giving me a hint on how we're doing?
You know I can't do that.
I saw you eyeing me.
A little. Why lie? I've never gotten over you.
That's nice to hear. You're quite something yourself.
What do you like about me?
You're always looking for the truth. And you're smart and optimistic. Rare qualities. What do you like about me?
Oh, it's a secret.
A no complaint night is also a no secret night. You have to tell me.
No, I don't.
She who has the wine rules. Out with it.
You are beautiful. Outside and inside. Your heart is warm. You're willing to hear what you don't want to hear.
You think that? Even with two-tone hair, no makeup, wrinkled clothes, and hairy legs?
Absolutely.
You are a romantic.
Oh, I think we should stop. I have to judge fairly.
Do you really want to stop?
No, but as usual, I can make an argument on either side, so yes, we should stop.
You don't know what you're missing.
I do. I really do, but I promise to judge this wager fairly, and I cannot appear to be biased.
No one will know.
I will not.
So you aren't going to give in to the spirit of love?
I long to, but not tonight.
Well, maybe it's now or never.
I have to take that
Your
chance.
heart can turn and turn quickly. I may not love you tomorrow. Take me now.
You know I can.
How unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
I think I'll go back to my apartment for the night.
It's 2 days until the end of the wager. Woo-hoo. I have to write my conclusions and hand them off to the two presidents.
It's simple. We won. Just write it down.
You heard it. Maria's right. We won.
Let's not be hasty. We've got to give Gary time to judge fairly.
I haven't finished my investigations yet. We've been trying to get other committee members to join in. I haven't seen any success, but maybe I'm missing something?
We've tried and tried, but got nowhere.
That's what I thought. Also, it's not part of the bet, but the presidents wondered if what we did is sustainable. What will you do after this is over? Are any of you gonna live 5 to a room? Let's start with you, Maria.
Off to Paris. Eric and I have a picnic underneath the Eiffel Tower. I know I won't do this again.
Back to a double room suite.
Off whale watching. It's too cramped here. I'll live in a suite next semester.
Off to visit family in California. I'm sure I'd never do this again.
I'd do this again, but it seems none of you would join me. If I advertise, I wonder if anyone would join me.
I can see the ad now. Wanted, multiple roommates to share a tiny room with a know-it-all.
Stop picking on Gary. He's only trying to be fair.
It sounds like we're all tired of this hemmed-in life. The same thing happened to Thoreau. He left the simple life behind, saying he had other lives to live. He lasted longer than we did, but he did not have roommates. People praise him, but they don't follow his ideas.
What are you saying?
We might use more energy making up for our lost opportunities than we saved this semester.
I don't think any of us will use as much energy as we did before this wager.
Onyay's right. We've each learned so much doing this.
I think I'm ready to draw up a preliminary score for the wager and send it off to the two presidents. First, I think you should hear the secret part of the bets. Now, this was kept secret so people wouldn't be influenced by the money involved. If the action committee wins, the college gets $500 million to start a practical environmental center, and Onyay will get tenure.
$500 million depends on what 5 people do?
Yeah, if you told us, we could have hired people and definitely won.
That's why it was kept secret.
And you get tenure? There are other adjuncts with more experience than you.
It would be worth it to the college. Besides, if we lose, Onyay will be mentioned in the magazine article and on TV as a failure. That is not a pleasant prospect.
Is that why you pushed us to save more and didn't tell us? You were going to get something out of it. You're a bit of a fraud.
How could you say that about Onyay? She's always been nice to you.
I truly wanted the college to win. My win is secondary.
I don't know if I believe you. And Gary, you're the sole judge who says if we win?
Unless the presidents agree among themselves.
It's all sounding a bit crooked.
Why don't we start? I will have 2 sections. One will list all the reasons why we won, and the other will list all the reasons we lost. Can anyone summarize the positive side?
I can. 5 people volunteered to cut our carbon dioxide footprint, and in so many ways we succeeded. We
wore rumpled, hand-washed clothing and took abuse for it. We ate food that took less energy to produce and transport. We walked to the store to save energy. Eric and I foraged for food and herbs.
We showered far less than normal and used other technologies to lower energy usage.
Glad I didn't do any of that.
We curtailed our travel. Once we got used to using less, we were not as unhappy as we were originally.
I'd say it got worse as time passed. No, leave that part out.
And Maria, with my suggestion, drew lovely posters to get more people interested. That's gotta be a plus. And Eric worked on technological ways to save energy in the future. And we lived without electricity or heat for a day.
That was an interesting night, which I hope I never repeat.
The committee started a new recycling program, and some people went to environmental protests.
This is all great. Anything else?
I think that's about it. Do we have to list the negatives?
No one will know if you don't list them.
Of course I have to list them. Who wants to start? I guess I get to list the negatives. Most of the committee did almost nothing. Only 5 of over 30 people took part. The 5 people found it difficult to live together because of jealousy. The whole experiment almost broke up because of unkindness.
Don't bring that up. I was the person targeted and I forgive whoever did it.
Jealousy and anger are hard to control.
Well, I don't...
I'd say it got worse as time passed. I think we all got on pretty good, considering.
It's the percentage saved that's important. You've never told us what we saved.
The bad news is there are only 5 of us, and I have to calculate for 30. So if the 5 of us saved 30%, you'd have to divide by 6, and that would be 5%.
So we saved 30%?
The apps make it easier to calculate, but you can't give an exact figure because we don't know exactly how much we used before the bet.
Enough, Gary, just tell us.
We only topped 50% on that one day without heat or electricity. And every one of us who took part probably won't be able to repeat our savings in the long run.
You're being
so
far too negative, Gary. We all made tremendous efforts.
It's getting late. I'll stop now. I'll do the calculations, write a conclusion, and I'll hand it off to the presidents in the morning. They plan to review the findings tomorrow afternoon.
Let me try to convince you that we won the wager.
Please do.
All you need is a bit of editing. I'm sure Thoreau edited his experience in Walden. He left out all the times when he felt lonely or miserable, or he went out to eat with friends. If editing was good enough for Thoreau, it should be good enough for you.
No, that would be cheating.
Was Thoreau cheating when he wrote Walden and edited out his bad experiences?
That is acceptable in art. This is a real-life wager, and everything, including what you want forgotten, has to be listed.
One last try. Why send only one version of the so-called truth? Why don't you send 2 different edited versions to the 2 presidents, each saying they lost the bet and urging them to compromise? That way we're sure to get at least some of the money.
What a brilliant idea.
I can't do that.
Of course you can.
Do you really want me to do that?
Oh, argue with someone as pig-headed as you? I wouldn't think of it.
That's not fair.
Fair. It's not fair for you to steal the victory from us.
Do you really want me to cheat?
What? No. In the end, truth is more important than money.
I'm glad you think so.
I only half believe it. That's one hell of a pile of cash we're talking about.
It's late now. I'm going to sleep. I called you all here because I have some puzzling news. I got an email saying that after the presidents read my emails, they talked and agreed to a settlement.
Why is that puzzling?
I never sent them emails. The log says I did, but the emails have been permanently deleted.
I don't understand.
Someone, and it has to be presumed one of you, stole my login information and sent the emails in my name.
What did they decide?
Modal Oil and Gas is going to donate $350 million to start a practical environmental center. And Onyay is going to get tenure.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yesterday it sounded like you thought we lost.
We'll get to that. but I need to know who sent those bogus emails.
Not me.
I wouldn't do that.
What about you, Maria?
Why are you picking on me?
Eric and Nora were asleep when Onyay, you and I were talking. And you've been looking over my shoulder every time I logged in for weeks. Did you steal my password?
I'm innocent.
How do you know it was Maria? I could have hacked your computer.
Maria, you said you were on my computer because you wanted to learn how modeling works. Tell me, what did you learn about computer modeling?
Nothing. But what does it prove? I tried to teach you about art, but you still can't draw a straight line.
That doesn't give you permission to send emails from my account.
You have no proof. Just drop it.
It wasn't you who had their password stolen.
Anger. I like that. Wasn't sure he had it in him. Calm down, Gary. Maybe she's telling the truth.
I ask you again, tell us what you
You're
did.
trying to bully her.
Maria, if I said, I'm not angry, just curious, you wouldn't say anything else?
How dare you accuse me?
I know that look. The look of shame at being caught doing something you really wanted to do. You know I admire you and care about you. Tell us what happened. I can't wait to see your art on TV. Have you thought about what you're going to show?
That drawing you made of me was great.
I've completed many more masterpieces.
You're the most brilliant person I've ever met. How did you do it?
It was so easy. Gary, you have such a simple password. Onyay 5. Oh, how could I forget it? You say you believe in telling the truth. Why did you make us lie and say we all wrote Onyay's birthday song together? You wrote it all by yourself. My emails were direct and simple, just like all good art should be.
Am I the only person who is concerned that she stole my password?
I was sleeping and didn't hear anything. How did you do it, Maria?
We were talking about how Thoreau edited his manuscript and how we could too. Neither Onyay nor Gary would do the needed editing, but I knew I could.
What exactly did you say?
Relax, Gary. Both presidents agreed. You're not responsible for their decision.
They decided based on false information. I've got to get them the correct information.
Everyone else is happy. Why not leave it alone?
Tell us more, Maria.
It was easy. Gary made 2 lists, one saying why we won, one saying why we lost. I sent each president the list that showed each loss and suggested they make a compromise with each other so they wouldn't lose completely.
I don't get it.
The college president thought the college would get nothing. The oil company president thought he would have to pay $500 million. Neither would want that outcome, so I suggested they make a compromise with each other to get a partial win. How much did you say they finally agreed to?
$350 million.
I saved that fracker $150 million. I should have edited better.
I have the phone number for the oil company president. I'm gonna call him right now.
No,
Gary,
don't do it. Think of all the good.
Please
The research is
please.
Hi, Peter. Yes, this is Gary. I wanted you to know that the email sent to you probably had misleading information. You want to know the final percentage saved by the 5 of us? I've been trying to get an exact figure, but I can only come up with a range. I can explain it all to you. You trust me. Don't bore you with the details. Peter, it's all in the details. And just the top figure. Is that what you do in your planning? The top range was 32%, but that's for the whole committee, not just us 5s. You don't care about those who didn't take part? Well, that's very generous of you. So now it's $500 million. Great. Well, happy news all around. Enjoy your new home.
What did he say?
Remember that actress who came here talking about the environment who owns a 50,000 square foot house?
Yes, Greta gratification. People went wild for that hypocrite.
Peter just bought the mansion next door. He said it's a mere 40,000 square feet. He's giving the $500 million to the college, so people will call him an environmentalist too.
A 40,000 square foot house is obscene. But at least he's giving us a lot of money.
Yeah, Greta only gave us hot air.
We have met the enemy and they are us. That fracker is going to get a lot of really good publicity.
He also said that energy companies have a great heart.
And you didn't contradict him.
It seems to me that Peter had a heart.
Maybe for today only. Oh, I'll be very happy to wait until after we collect before I say anything bad about him.
Yeah.
We won fair and square. I'm so happy. We saved so many animals.
We are the champions.
We're all invited to be interviewed on TV Friday at noon. Will everyone attend?
Of course, can't wait. Maria, will you design me a blouse with the elephant, with the cat, with the mouse on its shoulder?
Sure. And I'll bring lots of my art.
Yay!
I'm going. Gotta get to class now.
I don't know why I should be there since I was only the judge.
We wouldn't have even started without you. And if you didn't make the bet more reasonable, we would have lost. Garibaldi, hero, once again.
Maria's actions probably helped.
She deserves praise. She does what she says she'll do. That's so rare. When you think of that, Maria's tiny deception comes off quite well.
Like the adjunct English professor who wagered she could cut her CO2 footprint and live to see the reward.
What an experience. Do you think it might have any real positive impact?
Oh, the center should be very helpful.
Well, you know what I mean. Will people start doing things instead of just talking?
Maybe. This wager shows how resourceful human beings are, but also how limited and unintelligent we can be. Angels and crap in the same bodies.
I only like to think of people as angels.
That is a comforting illusion. I have always seen you as an angel. Oh God.
Well, you know I have my share of crap inside me.
I don't mind. You wouldn't be human without it.
We'll be talking about this for the rest of our lives. Maybe our experiment will become a symbol like Thoreau's cabin. Seriously, do you think we'll have an impact?
Let's hope so.
Today, everyone says we're doomed. It's like in the World War II after France fell. People said England was doomed. Churchill kept saying England was bound to win. That hope, and a lot of really hard work, led to victory.
He got people to work together and stop fighting each other. We need that kind of optimism and intelligent efforts now. No one follows pessimists.
His motto was KBO.
KBO.
Keep buggering on. He never gave up.
Keep buggering on. Such good advice, but so hard to do sometimes.
Who do we think we are to be offering solutions? I know I don't know much. I mean, I hope no one at that TV reception asks me how to solve this problem.
Oh, me neither. We're part of the few who know the limits of our knowledge and don't pretend to know everything. It's not a popular virtue, especially for professors.
Or TV commentators.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've lived together for 3 months and only kissed once.
The only kisses I saw were Maria and Eric. Did you hear how he defended
A
her?
clever way to change the topic.
What are you gonna wear to the interview? I'm gonna go in my scruffy looks and old clothes.
Guys can get away with anything.
Yup.
I haven't decided yet. I do know one thing I'm looking forward to. I might have a much clearer idea on how to handle the interview after I complete it.
And what's that?
I'm going to take a really long, really hot shower with the water turned on full blast.
That sounds delightful.
Well, I would love some help washing my back, but only by someone who's in for the long term and who wants children.
Oh. I'm the one who keeps saying, advance confidently in the direction of one's dream. Then I do get my best ideas in the shower.